You know, guys, today I was thinking because when you drive around with the car and look for places to camp or something like that, nowadays, bro, it's crazy when there's some camping site that charges you like 20-30 euros for one stay. They everywhere around that camping spot there's hundreds of signs prohibiting to park because you have to go to the camping site. And there's these beautiful spots which would be ideal for that, but there's always this fucking sign, and when you stay there and still park there, bro, most likely you'll get some sort of fine and end up paying 3 times more than you would have paid for the camping. But bro, it's like not the goal to always stay in a camping spot, When you're traveling, you don't want to pay 30 bucks a day to sleep somewhere, so you have to find some good spots, and it's always a challenge. And the good ones, or the more obvious ones, are always marked with some kind of sign and it takes away from the freedom, when usually you can go and find some spots. And it's also very different from the area where you're in, because in these really touristy spots, they have everything up and everything set in the law, so you can do what you like, and you always have to move a bit out of city. I mean, that's obvious, but still not every part out of the city is really usable. So the best ones are in nature, where you go on like roads like these, the gravel roads, and find some spot there where no one can bother you. But that's not easy. You always have to search a couple, maybe half an hour, maybe longer, maybe less. Sometimes it differentiates. You decide you're looking for a spot, or you map out your path and to look and what you think. Maybe there's nice spots, but then you search there and take some time till you find one. And it's always like a bit of luck involved. Because not everyone has a perfect camper where you can just stay anywhere and not have people looking inside or something, because when you use a more standard car, it's weird the people just look into it through the window somehow, you know, and with campers they don't do that too much, I think, but kind of when you're using a more standard car, they just think it's okay, bro, to look into there and not treat it like some form of privacy, to let people live, to mind your own business, bro. So that's often the problem, bro. But I'm sure we'll find some spot this time, which is nice. Just gotta look a bit. But right now I'm hiking, bro. So no worries about the future, you know. All went well for a couple of instances, so it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. And that's like one of the biggest problems you face. You know, you really gotta live it to know the struggle, to know but also to learn and to become better in it. You have to do it, brain, man. There's no planning, there's no, it's learning as you go, man. But it's nice, bro, especially in the summer, when you're trying to go into nature. And this is my second hike for today, so, and I don't even have something to drink with me, so I don't know if I wanna be going around the whole lake, because I don't know how long it takes, bro. But fuck it, I don't wanna go along the same way where we come from, bro. I wanna see something new, but that's gonna be a long ass walk, so please stay with me. We'll get through this together. Yeah. So, you know, I'm kind of in a spot where there's a lot of skiing and a lot of action in the winter, and the tourism is really focused on the winter. So there's a route that goes through those mountains, but the route is you have to pay a toll, but it's not even open right now because it's not the big season right now. So it's closed and you have to drive all the way back again, and yeah. And Google Maps tells you it's okay, bro, you can go. And then you get there and then you realize, bro, fucking Google snitched on me. And then you look again the Google Maps, and now suddenly it is not drivable. So it headed me all the way up here just to find out. I have to go back again, but anyway, it's a very nice it's very nice, bro, so I can't complain, because that's a crazy sea right on top of the mountains, man. I love those water reservoirs, which, you know, they are artificial, but it just it's still beautiful, and the water is really, really, really turquoise. So, you know, there's a lot of drinking water also coming from here, so probably one of the best waters you can drink in Austria. But the rest is very touristy, so it's not a lot of action, so I actually prefer to be that way. But there's also a lot of hikers, and it's nice, bro. I love these water reservoirs, man. You know, I also found a beautiful one in Bosnia. That was crazy. I don't remember the place, how it's called. But in Bosnia there's this huge water reservoir, and it was a really nice place to stay, you know. I stayed there a couple days, and the environment, bro, it was really chill. So, you know, there's also beautiful spots in Bosnia or other Balkan countries. It's just less traveled. Doesn't mean it doesn't have its beautiful spots, you know. But you're only gonna find out if you check it for yourself. And driving across Europe in a car, bro, that's a crazy privilege, man. That's crazy privilege, bro. Because you can see so much, you can travel so many countries. It's not as huge, but the terrain and everything, the landscape, it always changes all throughout Europe in so many ways. And it's still enough so you kind of can't see it everything, but you know, I think everybody in their life should experience that. And maybe I want to travel someday, to do road trips on a different country, but I just think I don't need to, because in Europe it's perfect the way it is, even though there's tons of restrictions on camping and everything, but I think the density of different landscapes is is very hard to beat. So of course I haven't traveled to too many other continents, so I'm just kind of talking from my experience and not really knowing anything about the others and judging off nothing. But we gotta be grateful, man. It's very, very, very easy to be grateful, man. Just gotta look at something like this and you realize, you come back to your senses, man. Like, I wish I could go for like these really demanding hikes, but bro, I'm not in the performance range where you can do this, man. I kinda like to take things easy, but I would also like the best views, bro. But it's crazy, you know, I went on some hikes and sometimes, bro, it just went a bit too crazy, you know. There was everywhere was these ropes where you could clip on your safety and be secured by the rope, and you go on these trails, and there's always these things, yeah, where you could connect those, and it gets worse and worse, and you think, bro, I don't have any mountain climbing accessories, you know, the safety clicker, you don't have any shit like this, and you think like, bro, I made a huge mistake. I'm going down these going somewhere where you really mountain climb, but then you're already very far, so you kind of think like, bro, if I don't pull through, I gotta go back everything again, and you just go with it, and then you're walking next to this cliff and kind of freaking out, but it happened to me at Königssee, at Berchtesgaden in Germany, on the border to Austria. Bro, those mountains were really steep, bro, and the lake, you know, there was no way to go around the lake because it was so steep. And I went on this hiking trail, and bro, I you know, when you go on these mountain trails, what are you gonna navigate by? You should probably read the signs and everything, but I got kind of misled by Google Maps, bro, and Google Maps showed the mountain climbing trail as a path to go on, bro. and you know, the time forecast, you know how long it takes, it was completely wrong. So don't ever use Google Maps while hiking. but I know it's kind of obvious probably, but sometimes it's better to trust the signs and not follow and not trust the computers. Yeah, but it was a nice experience. I catch the last boat going back to the main station, and almost had to camp overnight at this lake in a natural park. So you're not even allowed to do that. I would have gotten a huge ass fine of 300 euros. So I was pretty lucky to catch the last boat, and that was a nice experience. So kind of went all good in the end, but that's what made it a nice experience, bro. You know, was still scary. You know, going down the cliff just on those rails, they stick into the stone, but well worth it. That's the current state of the situation we have here, right here. So I made sure you guys are updated.